told him he's not the father.
I only told him that because he would not give back my child.
Why would he just have the baby?
He had the baby trying to take the baby so he can be with someone else. He used me, basically.
She watched too many Lifetimes, Your
No,
Honor.
he used me, Your Honor.
Mr. Anderson cheated on his wife and is hoping that the baby she now has isn't his. Ms. Lima, the woman he cheated with, insists that Mr. Anderson is the biological father of her baby, Christina. She hopes that today's test will finally convince him to accept Christina as his own and build a relationship with her. All this heat is on Mr. Anderson because he knows that if the test confirms his paternity, his wife would leave him.
It all started from a Facebook message when Mr. Anderson was messaging me on Facebook. So we started being friends online for about a year and a half. Then out of the blue one day, he called me and said, let's go out for dinner. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not doing anything, so why not? We went out to dinner and we got a hotel room that night. We had sex.
Your Honor.
Just one moment, ma'am.
He, we was planning a trip to go on a trip, so I couldn't make the trip, so I got on Facebook and I told him, I'm sorry, babe, I couldn't make the trip.
The spotlight is on Ms. Lima and reveals that she had no idea Mr. Anderson was married and had treated him like any other boyfriend she'd date. Surprisingly, Mr. Anderson doesn't deny any of her claims. What a guy.
I'm just sorry, Your Honor. I just want to say I'm sorry to my wife and my family and my kids.
I believe you are sorry.
Your Honor, it was a big mistake. And, I really want my marriage and I want my marriage to work. But
and I see your wife next to you and I feel her pain.
Me and my wife, we had a bad, argument and, and I decided to go out and take Miss Lima out one night. And me and her went out to the hotel.
Well, if it had only happened that night, Mr. Anderson wouldn't be in court with his wife today. Incredibly, Mr. Anderson says this is exactly what happened. He says it was just one night, and then she texted him months later that she was having his baby. Mr. Lima says that's the biggest lie she's ever heard. What an interesting turn of events.
How often would you see Mr. Anderson?
We've seen each other for 2 years, every weekend, Saturdays and Sundays.
Was it strange to you that you only saw him on Saturdays and Sundays, or you thought he was working during the week?
Not really, because I went to his house numerous of times, but
wait, excuse me. You went to his house numerous times?
Yes, I went to his house numerous of times, and I told her what was in her house, and I described it to her.
Oh my God.
Hold on. Mr. Anderson, where was your family when you would take this woman to your home?
Seems like Mr. Anderson is going to be telling a lot of lies in court today. A few moments earlier, he was talking about how he never saw Ms. Lima after that one time, and now he's taking her into his house? Anyway, Mr. Anderson says Ms. Lima is just looking for a way to take his money, but fair enough. He was also looking for something not too morally right when he texted her. That we can agree on.
Let me understand this. So you did sleep with another man during the window of conception during that time?
Correct.
And you were sleeping with both men without protection?
Correct.
So how did you finally get in touch with him?
Well, I got in touch with him later, we met up and we had sex again when I was around 4 months pregnant.
Okay.
No, Your Honor.
Oh my God.
Oh
my God.
That didn't happen. She disappeared. Your Honor, I haven't heard from her in months.
So when she was 4 months pregnant, you didn't meet up with her?
So he did meet up with her. Anyway, let's see what Mrs. Anderson has to say about all of this. With all of the drama in court today, we can only hope that everyone goes home in one piece. Really.
Whole world it caved in. Are you serious? This
Because
my
you all
husband.
have built a lot together.
A business. We've been through a lot, Your Honor. And just the
children?
5. Come on,
At what point did you hear there was potentially a baby?
She told me it was a baby. I asked him. Clearly, he lied to me because when I confronted him about it the first time, he told me they had sex one time.
That is so spot on, Mrs. Anderson. This wild revelation is already tearing her marriage apart. This sounds like a woman who has reached her breaking point and no longer wants to continue with the marriage.
Because
My marriage is past on the line. I can't. And then he's sitting up here. First he said it's one time, now it's numerous of times. You understand? I knew it when she told me what was in my house, that it was numerous of times. And he kept lying. It hurts really, really bad. It hurts really, really, really.
Only thing one can hope to salvage this situation is the possibility that Mr. Anderson isn't the true father of the baby, and instead the child belongs to another man named Mr. Scott. Oh my. Both men are awaiting the DNA test results in court today. Now, Ms. Lima is asked about any other potential fathers besides Mr. Anderson and Mr. Scott. She firmly responds with a no. Okay, Ms. Lima, let's take a look at the test results.
We know this can be emotional. Let's all just try to keep calm. In the case of Lima versus Scott Anderson, as to whether Mr. Scott is the father of 1-year-old Christina. Mr. Scott, you are not her father.
here, stay right here.
Oh boy, if Mr. Scott isn't the father, then Mr. Anderson must be the father. Except there's something Ms. Lima isn't telling us. Only one way to find out. You did not see this coming one bit.
Pertaining to whether Mr. Anderson is the father of 1-year-old Christina. Mr. Anderson,
Yes, Your Honor.
you are not her father.
Oh my God.
This woman cheated on her husband and now keeps denying that the baby belongs to her side piece. Mr. Angileri had an affair with a married woman and now believes he is the father of her child. Ms. Vargas, on the other hand, claims he can't be the father, and that completely pissed off Judge Lake. Mr. Angileri stated this in court.
Mr. Angileri, you claim the defendant, Ms. Vargas, was married and having an affair with you when she got pregnant.
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct.
Now, you say she initially told you that you were not the father of her 11-month-old son, but
So, here's the tea. They definitely weren't in a relationship. Ms. Vargas has a rough patch in her marriage and turned to Mr. Angileri for support during said rough patch. But hold up, because here comes the drama. Mr. Angileri insists he was just there for Ms. Vargas during her rocky relationship with her husband. But surprise, surprise, Ms. Vargas drops the bomb in court, claiming all he wanted was to get her pregnant. Okay, drama alert.
One night, we ended up back at my place. We'd been at the club, we got turned up. We're out there doing our thing. We went to the house, started doing our thing.
Our thing.
Yeah.
Your Honor. That night when we, had sexual intercourse, you planned to get me pregnant. I feel like you did.
Oh, no, that's a lie.
hold on. I realize that you may hear some things.
That's just so heartwarming. You'd almost think they were in a picture-perfect romance with the way they talked about each other. But plot twist. When Ms. Vargas discovered she was pregnant, she confidently told Mr. Angileri that he was the father. Oops. However, things took a sharp turn when she later decided she wanted to reconcile with her husband. That's when her entire narrative suddenly shifted. What a woman.
The baby was mine, and the next thing you know, she's telling me it's her husband.
I wanted to work things out with my husband, Your Honor. I wanted to.
So when you first found out you were pregnant, Ms. Vargas, did you call Mr. Angileri and say this child is yours? So you told him it was his.
I first did.
Then you decided I want to try to work this out with my husband.
It seems like Ms. Vargas's attempt to patch things up with her husband backfired, and it backfired big time. While she was trying to mend her marriage, she asked Mr. Angileri for some space and time to sort things out. But here's the kicker. Mr. Angileri couldn't shake the idea of being the child's father from his mind, no matter what.
Did you tell Mr. Angileri, I'm working it out with my husband, I'm trying, you're
Yes,
not
Your
the
Honor.
father,
I was trying to keep him away,
And I respected that. You told me one time.
Yeah, texting him on Facebook, asking him questions
Well, no, I
about
said if you want to be a real man about it, you got to let me know if that kid looks anything like me.
So, they've got a point there. The baby does deserve to know who to call dad and mom. Despite both of them agreeing to do right by baby Woody, Mr. Angileri still shake the feeling that Ms. Vargas was being shady with both him and her husband. And here's why he felt that way.
Yes. Because the first few months, she's telling me I'm the dad. Then I end up getting a job up north. She told me, well, I want to try to work things out with my husband. I don't want him to try to get me for adultery or have anything happen with my children. I said, well, I can respect that. Do your thing. I moved up to Austin. She still lived down in Temple. I was 45 minutes away. I didn't talk to her. One of my friends that lived down in the same area told me, oh, she's getting big. She's ready to pop. So then come September.
If there is anything these guys are good at doing, trust me, it's arguing. Now, Mr. Angileri felt the only reason Ms. Vargas was coming back to him was because things did not work out for her and her husband. And most importantly, she didn't want her child growing up without a father.
I believe if her and her husband were still married, everything was still going well with them, I would never even hear about it. But I also see where she's coming from because she wants her son to have a father. And if he is my son, I want to be his father. I want to be involved in his life.
And I want you to be involved. I want you to be there. I'm just hurting for him because I want him to be there for him.
And if I'm his father, I will be there for him.
There's definitely something fishy going on with her story. First, she wants Mr. Angileri to be the father of her child, but then she turns around and threatens to slap him with a restraining order. Give us a break, Ms. Vargas. Something doesn't add up. Mr. Angileri had some evidence to support his claim, and here's what he presented to the court.
These are messages that say, I need you to give away your rights. I hope you stay away and never come around. I will put a restraining order on. What had he done to warrant a restraining order?
Nothing, Your Honor.
So this is just angry
It's
talk.
just being angry. He wasn't there. He would always make excuses saying, oh, I can't send you money. One time, he said he was going to send me money. I waited.
Oh my, oh my. It sounds like Judge Lauren is starting to lose her cool. One of the reasons Ms. Vargas changed her mind was because she claimed that as the baby got older, she noticed that he started to look like Mr. Angileri. But did Mr. Angileri feel the same way about the child? Stick around for the tea.
I lived in the same city as she did until the kid was 6 months old, 5 months old.
I felt like he was starting to look more like you, and I wanted you to be there.
Do you think he looks like me now?
Yes.
Because my other 2 kids resemble me, spitting image.
Of course, he's gonna look like the mother too. It's not just gonna be you.
Well, yeah, that's understandable, but I don't see many of my traits. I have straight hair.
He's got your lips, your nose, and your ears.
Now we know why he wants to be part of the baby's life, if he ends up being the father of the child. Anyway, enough drama. The results are in, and it's time we find out who the real father of the child is.
In the case of Angileri versus Vargas, as it pertains to 11-month-old Giovanni Vargas, Mr. Angileri, you are the father.
Thank you so much.
Imagine giving your son your first and last name, then finding out he isn't yours because your girlfriend slept with another man on the same day. Mr. Woody is in court today, only to figure one thing out: if he is the biological father of Ms. Wilson's son. Now, Ms. Wilson reveals that she had been intimate with another man around the time of conception. Now we do not know who the true father of baby Woody Jr. is.
Well, I have a 3-year-old daughter already, so when I found out I was having a son, I was excited because what man doesn't want to have a junior, you know? So I got plans made, you know, I'm ready to go play baseball and basketball with them and, you know, all the stuff a father's supposed to do with his son. So I'm just ready, so I'm ready to be a father to a boy now.
So you're already having the visions of...
The whole thing about Mr. Woody not being romantically involved with Ms. Wilson hits him like a ton of bricks. And now it's like he just realizes that there's a significant chance he might not be the boy's father. Oh boy, talk about a bombshell! It seems like things just keep getting more complicated. Well, 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 isn't this a twist?
Got you all here today.
When I met Mr. Woody, I was walking down the street with my friend. We were drunk and we were going up to the store, and he was in an apartment complex holding, you know, with his daughter in a stroller, and he said, "You're cute." And I was like, "Oh, you're cute too." So we walked to the store and we walked back to my friend's house. We had intercourse.
Okay.
Well, talk about a roller coaster. Ms. Wilson tells the court that there was only one other man she was involved with during that time. And now this leaves either of them potentially as little baby Woody's father. And here's where it gets even more interesting. When Ms. Wilson discovered she was pregnant, she reached out to Mr. Woody right away. But guess who responded? Not him, but the girl he was dating at the time. Whoa!
The girl that I was dating was responding to the messages that she was sending me.
Jerome, let me see that. What evidence is this you're presenting?
I have a couple of pieces of evidence, and I got the picture of me and my son, and I have the messages from Facebook.
So this is a message from Davina Wilson. I'm pregnant, so I hope you know we're getting a DNA test when the baby's born, and I'm hitting you up with this child support. I'll see you in court.
As read.
What a text! Now everyone's on their seats to find out what Mr. Woody's girlfriend responded with. The message itself shows that something is up. Ms. Wilson is ready for a fight and will not hesitate to give it to him if he brings it on.
First message I got back was, I think he said the B word, "You're lying," or something like that. And I honestly thought it was him. And so when I got that message, Your Honor, I'm like, okay. So I basically went off like, you know, all I want is your money, point blank period. So you wanna leave me in the cold, you wanna, you know, let me get pregnant and do this by myself, then you gonna pay me some type of child?
After learning he could potentially be the baby's father, Mr. Woody didn't shy away. Instead, he returned to town and stepped up to the task, accompanying Ms. Wilson to ultrasounds, attending her doctor's appointments, and being there every step of the way. He even stayed by her side during the birth and cut the umbilical cord. But here's the thing, Ms. Wilson didn't extend the same message to the other potential father. What exactly was her plan, really?
While I was sleeping with Mr. Woody, I had sex with my boyfriend and everything. He was the last person I initially had intercourse with. So the last time I had intercourse, it was with Mr. Woody.
Okay, but you do know that it doesn't matter who's first and who's last, it's about the window of conception, right? Were they both in the window of conception?
Now the big question is, if they were both potential baby daddies, why did Ms. Wilson not tell the other guy that she could be having his baby? Yet another question now is, when did Mr. Woody start having doubts? Since he did all of this for the baby, he already believed he had a son that was completely his own. So, What changed?
Her sister, you know, I'm at one of my friends' wakes. You know, he had just passed away, so you know, we at the wake or whatever, and I see her sister. I'm good friends with her son's father, so you know, we start talking and whoop, and she comes up to me like, Mike, I think you should go get a DNA test. You know?
Your Honor, that is a lie.
There's so much more to Mr. Woody's doubts. Apparently, someone tipped him off about the possibility of another father. How destabilizing that must have been. He was so attached to baby Woody, and then he was hit with that sort of news. Now, only the results can save us. Judge Lake is ready to reveal the results, and the court is ready to listen.
It comes to 2-month-old Michael Woody Jr. Mr. Woody, you are not his father.
What?
Jerome, will you please have her sit down?
Come up here and sit down.
Come on, baby.
So many women have fooled him in the past with a baby. This is the case of Mr. Wilson, but this time he has absolutely put his foot down. He refuses to be involved in any more shenanigans, especially with Ms. Dean. Very unlike most cases at paternity court, he brought up the case and took her to court on this basis.
And you've opened your case today to prove that Ms. Dean's 17-month-old daughter, Jakaya, is not your biological child. You say you moved her into your home, laid out the red carpet, only to find out she was rolling around with other men in your home. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, what a guy. Ms. Dean claims that he welcomed her daughter, 17-month-old Jakia, into the world, then completely switched up on her. He signed her birth certificate and everything too. Now, he's denying both mother and daughter and wants nothing to do with them. Yikes. However, this denial is hurting Ms. Dean and Mr. Wilson's relationship with baby Jakaya, apparently.
And lying, him and his family is lying because not only did we plan this baby, we had concessions. I had my period.
You had concessions?
You know, we was literally getting down, doing things besides just...
Oh, that's a concession.
Yeah, a concession.
Okay.
So when I say we having a concession, I mean everything over and above.
Okay, so hold on.
So they have some history in the past and went their separate ways. But one day, Ms. Dean hit him up on Facebook and they got chatty. That was when they became intimate and planned the baby together. He was desperate for a baby and she was available. That's what happens when babies are planned, Mr. Wilson. The babies arrive.
To have this baby together.
Yes.
And so where did everything go wrong?
Her
if you
story
planned
not
it,
consistent, the word she used. Yeah.
Okay.
It was not consistent as her storytelling.
Why
as
wasn't
the
it?
truth kept coming about, the lies kept adding up to it.
all right, so take me
Your Honor,
to
to you
finding.
in your face.
Wait, hold on, Miss Dean. When you found out you were pregnant, take me to that day.
I had my period in February. We conceived in March. You feel me?
He was present during her pregnancy. He was also present during the delivery. Mr. Wilson really wanted this baby, it would seem. It's such a shocker that he switched up on the baby like that. What could have happened between them?
Trying to build a relationship while she's pregnant. And in the mix of us building a relationship, she's getting bigger. She's whispering, I hear echoes. She's always in a different room of the apartment. And I'm like, why you never around the kids? Why? She's like, I can't talk now because my ex is here. And why is he there 11 o'clock at night if the kids got school in the morning?
And he knew exactly what was going on. With that other guy, he just don't want to take responsibility and be a man and stand up.
Oh boy. Now who do we believe? Mr. Wilson, saying that she kept cheating on him even while she was pregnant? Or Ms. Dean, who keeps accusing him of lying? What a duo, really. Ms. Dean went on to add that he has not provided anything ever since she had baby Jakaya.
I didn't have doubt until she's told me I didn't have sex with him. He's just laying on the couch. Okay, I went with that. When I ran into him at the bus stop, I said, this is coincidence. Now I can man up and ask him face to face. What's the story in his end? If it add up to what she's telling me, then I have no doubts. But he said the complete opposite of what she's giving me. And I asked him, I said, is y'all having a child together? He's like, yeah. I said, what y'all supposed to be having? He said, a little girl. He went into details.
What a story. Now it makes no sense for all of this to have happened while Ms. Dean was pregnant with Jakaya. Mr. Wilson still went on to be present throughout the pregnancy and delivery. It does not make any sense for him to suddenly not be. Why would he just start being so nonchalant?
Certificate.
I'm gonna tell you why. When the baby was born, it was so light and bright. I was like, he's so dark, she's dark. It's no way he's the father. I still didn't have doubts until she called me on FaceTime with him on the phone, and they both confirmed that I was.
And said
You was
what?
lying. I don't even
She
mess
was
with
like,
that man
bring me
like
back
that.
my baby, because I was like telling her I'm not, releasing her right now.
There you
She said,
go.
bring me back my baby. It's not your baby, it's his baby. Ah, like the Byron.
I
And
said,
he was
Janelle.
like, that's right, that's my baby.
What a woman. It's no wonder he switched up. Imagine collecting the medal for the world's best dad, then hearing the mother of your supposed baby with another man saying that the baby isn't yours. All of this happened over FaceTime too. Dang, what a woman. Mr. Wilson was traumatized too. He moved away, changed his number, and blocked her. Now he didn't see either of them for 17 months.
You have always wanted a baby, and I can see as you look at that picture, I can see how you just stare at it because you wanted to have a baby.
Yes.
And this baby was new life as you celebrated and had to say goodbye to your father.
Correct.
This meant something to you. Can you tell the
It
court?
was a chance for me.
Now, baby Jakaya meant so much to him. This man was so broken by that FaceTime call. In addition to all of this drama, he had just lost his dad. The grief, in addition to the stress from Miss Dean, was not too great for him. Mr. Wilson had always wanted a baby, so he was completely ready to have one. Looks like he just didn't find the right person to have said baby with.
Purpose because I was so attached to my father. I don't say stepfather, he was my father, and she knew all that what I've been through, even in my past relationship. So I thought that she was willing to give me something that she kind of even regretted not giving me in the beginning of our relationship when we had history. And I didn't have no doubt that we planned this, it should have been that. But somebody was not committed and consistent, and it was not. I'm more gut feeling. It's almost like mama's baby's daddy maybe.
He respects the fact that regardless of how badly he wanted a baby, Ms. Dean did not ask to be here. Although he asked her about it before the baby was conceived, he now realizes that she must not have been completely in for it. All he needs to know now is if the baby is his or not, so that he will ask for his name to be removed from the birth certificate.
We all know where we are now. And this is just a ball of confusion, negativity, and dysfunction. I don't even know how y'all got together, much less decide y'all was gonna make a baby together, but we're here now, and we need to get these results. Jerome, I'm ready.
It's time for the verdict. Results are ready. Now, would Mr. World's Best Dad Wilson and Ms. Dean need to raise this baby together? Or would Ms. Dean have to go back to FaceTime Man and remove Mr. Wilson's name from the birth certificate? There's just one way to find that out. Judge Lake reveals the results of the paternity test from DNA Diagnostics.
You are not the father. Miss Faithful, stop.
Thank you, Jesus. I apologize for taking you through this, but I am gonna find out who her father is, and I am gonna.
You gotta find out?
No, when I say find out,
You gotta find
I'm
out?
gonna bring him on this courtroom like I did you at.
Oh, good luck.
Yeah. leave me alone.
Listen, okay, listen.
He might still be on the couch.
That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough.